Hello students, today we're doing lesson 50, types of lines. This is going to be a pretty quick lesson I think, but it still has some very important things in it. Okay, so we have three types of lines. The first one is parallel lines. Make sure that you are taking good notes so that you can go back and look at these. Okay, parallel lines are, I like to write some of my own definitions instead of always writing the ones that are in the book. So these are lines that never touch. So lines go on forever. That's why they have arrows on them. So if I had parallel lines that were never going to touch, they would look something like this. Okay, now these obviously are a little wonky and crooked because I can't draw super straight. I don't have a ruler with me on my screen. But these would keep going, and they would keep going and never touch, right, in all directions. Okay, and then we're going to label these, so they need some points on them. Q and R for this one, and let's do L and M for this one. So to show that these are parallel lines, you would say that QR, line QR, so you have to put that line over it, is parallel, that's the parallel symbol, to line LM. You have to put the thing over. So this is how you would write that those two lines are parallel. Okay, so make sure that you know that this symbol means parallel. And that means they're never going to touch. Okay, the next one is called intersecting lines. Intersecting lines means they do touch. Intersecting lines, let's say they cross at a point. Okay, so intersect, like an intersection on the road. Okay, that means two roads cross. So this is the same thing. Two lines cross at the same point. So I'm going to show you an example of that. Okay, so see how those crossed at a point? Okay, so we're going to call these A and B and C and D, and then we'll call this middle point Z. Okay, so when I say these are intersecting lines, I would say line AB. Remember, if you're talking about a line, you have to put those arrows on top of it. Intersects line CD. Okay, so look at your thing and say line AB intersects CD. Okay. Okay, now I lost my pink color. Okay, so and I would say they intersect at point Z. Okay, so Z is where they cross, right? So that's going to be the intersecting point. Okay, my next line, my last line for today is a perpendicular line. And perpendicular lines intersect at a 90-degree angle. So hopefully you know what some of the degrees are. And 90-degree angles means it's a exact corner, right? So it looks like this, and it's usually labeled like that. So what this would look like is two lines crossing at an exact 90 degrees. And they always put a box in it when it's a 90-degree angle. So we're going to label these with S, P, T, and R. And let's do the middle one as a Y. Okay, so when you're saying something is parallel, then I'm going to say line ST. So look at which one that is, line ST. Okay, and I put the little arrows over it. If you don't put those arrows over it, points off. Okay, and then the parallel sign looks like this. Is parallel to line PR. Okay, so this, not parallel, I'm sorry, perpendicular. So this sign means perpendicular. Okay. Okay, so now that we know what the types of lines are, the next thing that we're going to talk about is some more of ordered pairs like we did in the last one. Okay, let me see if this will let me. Oh no, it's not going to let me. Well, maybe it will. Okay, I need a grid now. Okay, so we're going to do ordered pairs, but this time we're only doing the first quadrant. Remember we talked about quadrants a little while ago? And so when they have only the first quadrant, imagine there's other quadrants, but we're only going to be talking about this first one. Okay, and then this one would be labeled. And then this is going to have a couple of lines on it. So let's see. We're going to have one at 2, 4, and then this goes. Okay. Sorry, I have to just try to get it just like the book has it. Okay, it's hard to draw these perfect when I don't have a ruler. Okay, so on this one, we're going to have a couple of points. Okay, my line's a little bit off, so I'm trying to put these points where they really were supposed to be. Okay, first thing, what can you tell me about these lines? Well, these two lines are parallel lines, right? Because they aren't going to ever touch. If I had a ruler on them, that would make them look more like parallel lines. And then I'm going to label some of these points. I'm going to label A, B, C, D, and E, F, G, H. Okay. So if I had these two lines, and they're going to give you like a little box that says X, Y. Okay, and then this one's going to be for this line. So for A, we would look at A and we would go down here and say, okay, A is at 2. So that's going to be my X. Remember, this is the X axis down here, and this is the Y. And then I'm going to look across, and that's a 4. Okay, and then B, okay, I'm going to look down, and that's a 4. Oops, hold on. Hold on just a second. Okay, so B would be a 4, and if I look across, it's going to be 6. I'm going to put 6. So now I want you to fill in this chart for C and D also. Okay, and so hit pause and fill it in for C and D, and then come back. Okay, so C should have been 6, 8, and D should have been 8, 10, and that one was a little bit off my chart, so hopefully you knew this one up here was 10. Okay. So if you got those right, that's good. If you didn't, look at, when you're looking at the C, you look straight down first. You always do the X first, and that's a 6. And then you look across, and that's an 8. Okay? And the same thing for D. Look down first, and then look across. Okay? And then we would fill in the same ones for the E, F, G, and H. So let's say I had another box with X and Y, and we're doing E, F, G, H. So something like this might be on your homework, okay? So E is going to be the 6, 4. So we would put 6, 4. Okay, F would be 7 and 5. See how it's 5 right there? Okay, now you do the last two, G and H. So hit pause and then come back after you've finished it. Okay, you should be back. The G was 9, 7, and the H, which was a little bit off of where it was 11, 9. So this should have been 11. Okay, and that's it for today. You'll be doing problems just like this. Sometimes they might ask you, like, what is the Y coordinate for G? Okay, so they're not asking you for the X. So if they say, what is the Y coordinate? You only have to look at the Y axis, okay, on your homework. And then you would say 7. Okay, it might say, talk to you about intersecting lines, about things like that. So make sure that you come back to these notes if you don't remember exactly, and make sure that you took notes. If you didn't take notes, then go back and take them now. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks, kids.